Hello and welcome to Moon Whisper Sleep. Tonight, we're not just going to learn about the universe. We're going to wander into its unanswered questions, the ones so big that even science whispers instead of speaking. There are mysteries that textbooks won't touch, questions that make even the most brilliant minds simply stop and stare into the dark. And yet, here you are, still awake, still wondering, still listening to the quiet hum of the universe and asking, what if there's more? So let me ask you something. If you could solve only one mystery, just one, which one would you choose? Would it be the first spark of existence, the strange arrow of time, or the whisper of consciousness inside your own mind? Pause for a moment. Let that question sit with you, because tonight we begin where science runs out of answers and wonder begins. Sparkles, if you're ready, let's open the first door. The question sounds simple. Why is there something instead of nothing? Physics can describe what happens after the universe exists. Cosmology can trace time back to a fraction of a second after the Big Bang. But no theory, no simulation, no particle collider on Earth can explain the moment before being. Some scientists say absolute nothingness is unstable, and the universe is simply what happens when nothing cannot stay nothing. Others imagine a vast cosmic foam, a multiverse bubbling with infinite realities, with ours just one brief spark in an endless quantum ocean. But if that's true, then we don't escape the mystery. We just moved it one layer up. Why does the multiverse exist at all? Why should there be laws that allow anything to exist in any form, anywhere? Perhaps existence is the default state. Perhaps non-existence is impossible. But these are guesses, elegant, poetic, and unprovable. So here we are, living inside a question that no telescope can see and no equation can solve. Maybe the universe wasn't meant to give us answers. Maybe it was meant to give us wonder. What about you? Do you think the universe came from nothing? Or do you feel like it was always here in some form waiting to be discovered? Leave me a thought when you wake up, or whisper it into the dark right now. Sometimes the universe hears in silence. We still don't know what lit the first light. No one was there to see it happen. No witnesses, no instruments, only silence, and then a sudden bloom of brightness that became everything. People call it the Big Bang, but the name is misleading. The universe did not explode like a bomb. It unfolded. It expanded. It opened like a flower emerging in complete darkness. From a point smaller than an atom, space appeared, energy appeared, and particles began to dance. And just a fraction of a second later, something strange happened. Period we call cosmic inflation. No one knows why. No one knows what triggered it. But in less time than a blink, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light. Not because anything traveled faster than light, but because space itself stretched beneath everything. It was like standing on a painting, and the canvas suddenly pulls outward in every direction. And if you're listening to this late at night, try to imagine it. A perfect stillness. And then, something chooses to say, I will exist. No purpose, no intention, just existence. Understand, but why did it happen? Scientists have written thousands of papers, each one a quiet guess in the face of a giant uncertainty. Some believe the universe was a quantum fluctuation, a ripple born from the fact that even nothing is never truly empty. Others believe the Big Bang was just one event among countless other cosmic births. that ours is not the only universe, just one tiny bubble floating in an infinite multiverse. So, every Big Bang is a drop of rain, and we are simply living inside one droplet, never seeing the others fall. But if there are many universes, who wrote the laws for all of them? This is where science touches the edge of poetry, because there are no instruments left to measure. No experiment can reach that far. Do you see? Science is not here to destroy mystery. It is the light we carry, revealing that the darkness is deeper than we ever imagined. And then, the story becomes stranger. If the Big Bang created the universe, it also created time. And if time was born in that moment, then the question, what came before the Big Bang, may not make sense at all. There was no before, just as there is no place north of the North Pole. The question is valid, but the answer does not exist. And I know right here you may feel a quiet kind of awe. Not fear, but a gentle sense of waking up. Why does time only move forward? Imagine a glass falling off a table. It shatters on the floor. You have never seen it reassemble and rise back up. That feels obvious. But mathematically, it isn't impossible, just incredibly unlikely. The equations of physics allow past and future to trade places. But the universe never does. It chose one direction. We call it the arrow of time. Points forward. It turns every moment into a memory and never reverses. And the strangest part? No one knows why. Some physicists believe the universe began in a state of extraordinary order, and everything since then has simply moved toward chaos. That idea is entropy, the rise of disorder, the fundamental rule of everything. But it raises a bigger question. Why did the universe begin in such perfect order? Was it random, or is it a trace of something deeper, older, unreachable? No one knows. We live inside time like fish live in water, without knowing what water truly is. A question for you: if you could travel back and change only one moment in your life, just one, which moment would it be? Don't answer right away. Let the question sit. Let it breathe with the silence and the night. Sometimes the question matters more than the answer. The universe is not just strange. It is indifferent. The universe does not care who you are. It does not care whether you are happy or sad. It does not care if you are listening to this to fall asleep or just to feel a little less alone. Simply exists. And somehow that is beautiful, because in that indifference we find complete freedom. No one requires you to understand everything. No one demands perfection. You only need to be here, just as the universe once chose to be here. Exist. Just exist. Maybe someday, we will build an instrument powerful enough to look into the first moment of time as if rewinding a film. Or maybe we won't. Maybe the secret of the Big Bang does not live in telescopes or particle accelerators, but in the question it forces us to ask. Sparkles, if there was once nothing at all, then why did the universe choose to exist? And if the universe dared to appear out of emptiness, then what about you? How will you choose to exist? After the universe learned to exist, and after time learned to flow in one direction, something else happened, quietly, unexpectedly, impossibly. Life appeared, not all at once, not in a single spark, but through a long symphony of accidents and opportunities, each one stacking on top of the last until something began to want to continue. And that desire, that stubborn refusal to disappear, became the heartbeat of everything alive. Life is not just biology. Life is resistance. Life is rebellion against the quiet stillness of non-existence. In a universe that prefers cold and silence, life is the lone voice that whispers, "Not yet." The first breath of chemistry before there were hearts or lungs or thoughts. Molecules were floating in a warm, restless sea. Carbon meets hydrogen. Nitrogen tangled with oxygen. Electric storms carved patterns into the water. And somehow, from pure chemistry came memory. Not memory like you and I have. Not childhood stories or late-night thoughts. But the simplest kind of memory. A molecule that could make a copy of itself. The first self-replicating structure on Earth was not alive, but it behaved like life. Copied itself. It held on. It made mistakes, and the mistakes became evolution. Life began as error, and error became genius. The long patience of Earth for billions of years. Life was nothing but bacteria floating in ancient oceans. No eyes, no lungs, no music, just cells dividing in the dark. And yet, that was enough, because even without intention, evolution was working. Every mutation, every lucky adaptation, every rare coincidence was building towards something more complex. Life is not a ladder. It is a fractal, a branching forest of endless experiments. And every living thing on Earth is the survivor of unbroken success. Not intelligence, not strength. Success meaning it did not stop existing. And that alone makes every creature, every human, every listener a miracle of impossible continuity. The moment breath learned to dream, then came a turning point almost as mysterious as the Big Bang. A cell swallowed another cell, and instead of eating it, they allied. The swallowed cell learned to burn oxygen for energy. The host cell learned to protect it. Together, they became something never seen before. A eukaryote, a spacious, complex, beautifully organized cell. Cathedral of chemistry, a blueprint for every plant, animal, and human. Life did not invent complexity. Complexity was an accident that turned out to be useful. And from that accident came forests, oceans, neurons, music, sorrow, language, and the question you are asking right now. What am I doing here? The universe wakes up to itself at some point. We don't know when. Life opened its eyes and realized it was looking at itself. A fish noticed the current. A primate understood its own reflection. A human asked where thoughts come from, and discovered the question was thinking itself. Consciousness is still the deepest unsolved riddle in science. We can map every neuron, scan every cortex, watch thoughts form like lightning across the brain. And yet, the fundamental mystery remains untouched. How does matter learn to feel? How does electricity turn into sorrow, or wonder, or love? How does a brain hold a memory of something that no longer exists? The brain is made of atoms forged inside stars. But atoms do not cry. Atoms do not remember. Atoms do not whisper goodnight to someone they love. So where does the feeling begin? Where does the self begin? No theory has reached that answer. And maybe that's the proof that consciousness is not a glitch, but a feature of existence itself. Maybe the universe did not just create life. Maybe life is the universe trying to understand itself. Underserved life does not want to live. It wants to continue every living thing. From moss to whales to you, it is powered by the same physics. Life is an engine that eats order and releases chaos. A constant war against entropy. Cells burn energy to stay improbable. They fight decay every second. They reorganize molecules against the natural flow of time because stopping means disappearing. So, if you've ever felt tired, if you've ever wondered why simply existing takes so much effort, know this: you are not broken. You are doing the same work the first cells did 3.5 billion years ago. You are holding the line against the end of all things. That is not a weakness. That is legacy. Every living thing is a library. Your DNA is a book older than any language on Earth. In its code are the victories and scars of every ancestor you never met. Every disease survived. Every adaptation earned. Every breath that refused to be the last. Your body is not only yours. It is a museum of every creature that ever struggled, evolved, and stayed alive long enough to pass the flame forward. The flame is in you now. Whether or not you feel strong, whether or not you understand your place in the story, you are carrying a torch older than mountains. A torch that was once nothing but hydrogen floating in a silent ocean of stars. A question for you: if life could speak, not in words but in meaning, what do you think it would say? Would it ask you to be extraordinary, to be flawless, to change the world? Or would it simply whisper, continue, continue breathing, continue wondering, continue choosing to exist even on days when existence feels heavy? That alone is enough. That alone is the miracle. Life began as chemistry. It became a memory, then instinct, then awareness, then longing. Now it becomes you, listening to a story about the universe on a quiet night. You are not separate from the cosmic story. You are the story. Life is not something that happens to you. Life is something happening through you. And someday, billions of years from now, the universe may go dark again. Every star extinguished, every atom cooled to silence. But the fact that you lived at all, that life rose from nothingness and dared to feel, will always remain written into the history of everything. Even the universe cannot erase that. You carry a universe inside your skull, a silent galaxy made of electricity, chemistry, and memory. And somehow, impossibly, that galaxy knows your name. It remembers your first fear. It stores the faces you've loved and the places you left behind. It dreams of things that do not exist and mourns things that no longer do. No star has ever done that. No black hole has ever asked who it is. But you do. And no one can explain how. The brain is not just a machine. It is a storytelling engine. Inside your skull are 86 billion neurons and trillions of connections. Each one firing, rewiring, updating, erasing, rewriting. And yet, you do not feel the electricity. You do not hear the chemical signals. All you feel is meaning. You don't wake up thinking, signal detected in cortex region 2B. You wake up thinking, I miss someone. I'm scared of failing. I hope this feeling makes sense someday. The brain does not record reality. It interprets reality. It fills in gaps. It invents colors that do not exist. Creates time as a sensation, not a fact. You are not living inside the world. You are living inside a model of the world that your brain paints every millisecond. And that model is so convincing that most people never realize it's an illusion. Memory is not a storage, it is a reconstruction. We like to think memory works like a video. Press play, rewind, inspect every detail. But memory is not a recording. Memory is a story that keeps being rewritten. Every time you remember something, you aren't opening a file. You are redrawing it based on who you are today. A childhood memory recalled at age 7, it is different from the same memory recalled at age 40. Your brain updates the past to make it feel like it always led to who you are now. That is why two people can share a moment and swear they saw different things. Memory is not truth. Memory is meaning. It is the way the brain negotiates with time and chooses what deserves to survive. Underscore imagination. The only known force that travels faster than light. There is something the human mind can do that no element in the universe has ever done. It can create things that don't exist. Close your eyes. Picture an ocean floating in the sky. Picture a city built on clouds. Picture meeting your younger self and telling them everything will be okay. Nothing in physics says that it should be possible. However, the brain often disregards physics. Imagination is not just decoration. It is a rehearsal. It is self-rescue. It is a survival practice in advance. Every tool, every invention, every poem, every religion, every theory began as something unreal in the mind of someone who refused to stop imagining. The universe built stars, but imagination built meaning. Time feels different inside the mind. A minute of fear lasts an hour. A year of joy feels like a breath. Time in the brain is not universal. It stretches and compresses around emotion and attention. That is why childhood summers feel endless, but adulthood disappears in fast forward. Time in physics is rigid. Time in consciousness is liquid. No clock will ever measure what a moment truly means to you. Understand to the self. The greatest illusion ever performed. The brain does something even stranger. It creates a character called you. It gathers memories, sensations, beliefs, preferences, traumas, and stitches them together into a single narrative. A voice inside says, I am this person. I am the same as yesterday. I am real. But the truth is far stranger. There is no single moment where you exist. There is only a constant stream of updates. A ship rebuilt plank by plank that never stops moving. Every memory you hold has changed. Every cell in your body has been replaced. And yet, you still wake up as you. Identity is not a thing. It is a process. And that process is fragile, delicate, beautiful. Your mind is made of dead stars. The carbon in your thoughts, it was forged inside a red giant. The oxygen in your breath, it was formed in a supernova. The iron in your blood, it was once at the heart of a dying star. You are literally thinking with stardust. But stardust on its own does not fear or hope or dream. So what happened? At some point, matter learned to reflect. At some point, atoms began asking what they are made of. You are the universe contemplating itself. You are not just in the cosmos, you are of it. When was the last time you changed your mind about something you were certain of? Not because someone forced you to, but because you suddenly saw it differently. That moment, that shift, it is the exact instant when the universe inside you evolved. You don't need a telescope for that. You only need attention. The most mysterious part of the universe is not dark matter, or black holes, or the birth of stars. It is the quiet voice inside your head that says, "This is me." We may never fully understand it. Not with equations. Not with microscopes, not even with perfect technology. But maybe the goal was never to solve consciousness like a puzzle with one answer. Maybe the goal is simply to witness it with reverence. To know that somehow, a universe that began as hydrogen and silence learned to tell stories, to daydream, to fall in love, to regret, to hope, and to listen to a soft voice in the dark wondering what it all means. If the cosmos is a vast, expanding ocean, then consciousness is the single ripple that remembers the wave. And you, right now, breathing, listening, remembering, you are that ripple. And that is enough. One day the light will end. Every star you've ever seen, every warm sunrise, every nebula is glowing in the dark will one day fade to black. The universe was born in fire, but it will end in silence. And this quiet truth, it is not meant to frighten us. It is meant to remind us that everything beautiful is temporary, and therefore infinitely precious. The death of a star is not the end. It is the beginning of everything else. The sun looks eternal, reliable, solid. It rises every morning without asking permission. But it is already dying. Not quickly, not dramatically, just very, very slowly. Deep in its core, hydrogen is being fused into helium. Every second, 600 million tons of hydrogen vanish forever. And each breath you take is powered by that loss. One day, the fuel will run out. The sun will swell, glow red, and consume the inner planets. The oceans will boil. The sky will burn. Earth will fall silent. And yet, that destruction will not be meaningless. Because the only reason you exist is that other stars died before our sun was even born. Every atom in your blood, every molecule in your bones, every thought you've ever had began as the ashes of a dying star. Without stellar death, there is no carbon, no oxygen, no DNA, no breath, no cities, no languages, no love. Every ending has always been the start of something else. Supernovae, the universe breathing out. When a massive star dies, it does not fade quietly. Collapses, implodes, and explodes with the brightness of 100 billion suns. It outshines its entire galaxy for a brief moment before becoming dust. And from that dust, new stars form. New planets form. New chances form. Not every supernova creates life, but every life is made of supernova. Even now, somewhere in the dark, a star is exploding so that someday, something else can open its eyes. Maybe a forest, maybe a whale, maybe a child who looks up at the night sky and asks, "What am I made of?" And the answer will always be, "You are made of death that learned how to dream." The great silence that awaits us all. But what about the very end? Not just the death of stars, but the death of meaning? Physicists describe several possible futures for the universe. Small blue diamond heat death, everything expands so far apart that eventually all motion stops. No stars, no light, no heat, only cold. Time still exists, but nothing happens. Just a silent, eternal winter. Small blue diamond, big rip dark energy accelerates expansion until galaxies, stars, planets, and even atoms are torn apart. The universe ends not in stillness, but in fragmentation. Small blue diamond, big crunch gravity reverses expansion. Everything collapses back into a single point. The universe ends the way it began, in fire, perhaps only to begin again. So if everything ends, does anything matter? That is the question, isn't it? What is the point of loving if every memory will one day fade? What is the point of trying if the universe will one day forget? What is the point of existing if existence itself is temporary? Science can describe how matter behaves, but it cannot answer why meaning matters. Because meaning does not live in particles. It lives in perception. It lives in consciousness. It lives in you. The fact that something ends does not make it pointless. A song ends, yet it still moves us. A life ends, yet it still matters. Meaning is not measured in duration. Meaning is measured in presence. The universe does not care, and that is what makes you free. The cosmos does not promise fairness. It does not guarantee happiness. It does not protect us from loss. But that also means everything meaningful in your life was created by you, not by the universe. Love exists because we choose it. Kindness exists because we invented it. Stories exist because humans feel a sense of silence and want more. The universe is indifferent, but we are not. And that difference is everything. The last stars. Trillions of years from now, when the universe is old and cold, only small, dim, red stars will remain. They will burn slowly, humbly, like candles in a cathedral no one visits anymore. They will shine for billions of years after every human name is forgotten. And then, one by one, they too will go out. The darkness will return to silence, and the universe will be as it was before it began. But something will be different. For a brief moment in cosmic history, matter learned to feel. It learned to ask questions, to long for connection, to fear losing time, to love without guarantee. It learned to look at the night sky and feel wonder instead of emptiness. Even if the universe forgets us, we were here, and for a moment that was enough. A question before we continue. If you knew for certain that the world would end in 24 hours, who would you choose to be in the time that remains? Not what would you achieve, not what would you own, but who would you be? Because in a temporary universe, identity becomes the only eternal thing you can shape. Everything ends. Every star, every world, every breath, every heartbeat. Endings are not a failure of the universe. They are its pulse. A star collapses and a planet forms. A cell dies and a memory is born. A life ends and love remains, hanging in the air like smoke from a candle. The universe will not remember your name, but existence itself changed the moment you lived. You were a pattern of atoms that learned to care. And that is the rarest thing in the cosmos. And when your light eventually fades, as all lights must, the universe will continue in silence. But something inside it will always carry the echo of you. Not written in stars, not carved in matter, but woven into the simple truth. For a moment, a small part of the universe knew it was alive. And that moment was everything. Tonight, I want to ask you a question that has followed humanity for as long as we've looked up at the stars. Are we alone? Not just alone in our city, or on our planet, or even in our galaxy, but alone in everything. It sounds like a simple question, but the more science learns, the stranger the question becomes. Because if the universe is so huge, and the ingredients for life are so common, then why is the sky so silent? Underscore, the only example we have. So far, Earth is the only place we know where matter has opened its eyes and realized it exists. We have found oceans beneath icy moons. We have discovered planets in the habitable zones of distant stars. We have detected organic molecules in the clouds of space, on comets, on meteorites, even in interstellar dust. The chemistry of life is not rare. The building blocks are scattered everywhere like seeds waiting for soil. And yet, Among all the signals we've listened to, all the data we've combed through, we have never found a clear voice that is not our own. We see the stage, we see the lights, we see the props laid out perfectly, but the actors, if there are any, remain off-screen. Life, accident or inevitable? Scientists ask a quiet but important question. If you rewound the universe and let it play again, would life always appear? Or are we the product of a chain of events so delicate and unlikely that it might never happen twice? On one side, there is inevitability. Life on Earth seems to have appeared quickly after the planet cooled. As soon as the oceans formed, microbes were already there, clinging to vents, to rocks, to shallow pools. It's as if chemistry could not resist becoming biology. On the other side, there is fragility. The path from simple cells to complex animals to self-aware beings may involve so many narrow escapes that almost every planet fails. Like tossing a coin 1 trillion times and only once landing on its edge. We don't yet know if life is the rule or the exception. We only know this: whatever chain of events led to you has not happened often enough to leave any obvious neighbors. There is a paradox at the heart of the night sky. It's called the Fermi paradox, though you don't need the name to feel it. It goes like this: if the universe is old and there are billions of stars like the sun, and many have planets, and some of those planets might have life, and some of that life might become intelligent, then where is everyone? A single civilization, just one, with a small head start and a willingness to explore, could, in theory, spread across the galaxy in a fraction of the galaxy's lifetime. And yet, when we listen, we hear nothing but static. No obvious beacons. No cosmic engineering carved into starlight. No grand messages across the sky. Just the quiet hiss of space. Like standing in a crowded city at midnight and hearing only the wind. Maybe they are there, and we don't know how to listen. There are gentle answers to this silence. One is that we are listening for the wrong thing. We search for radio waves because that is what we would send. We look for signals that look like our technology because that is what we understand. But an older civilization might use methods we cannot even imagine. Quantum communication, stellar engineering, gravitational waves, or something we don't have words for. To an ant, the internet is invisible. Wi-Fi is magic. Fiber optic cables are meaningless threads in the ground. To us, the tools of a far older mind might be just as invisible. The galaxy may be alive with activity, and we are like children pressing our ears to the floorboards, hoping to hear a song that is playing on a different frequency. Maybe intelligence destroys itself. There is another, darker possibility. Maybe intelligence and self-awareness, they are not long-term survival traits. Maybe they are like fireworks, bright, brief, beautiful, and ultimately unsustainable. A civilization that can harness energy, rearrange its planet, build powerful tools, and reshape ecosystems. Can also build weapons and systems of destruction that outgrow its wisdom. Nuclear war, runaway climate change, engineered plagues, technologies that slip out of control before minds and ethics are ready. The universe might be full of civilizations that briefly reached for the stars, lit up their corner of the galaxy, and then vanished. If that is true, then every radio telescope on Earth, every quiet dish under the stars, is listening not only for others, but also for a possible future version of ourselves. A test we have not yet passed. Maybe the highest form of intelligence is quiet, but perhaps the story goes another way. Maybe truly advanced civilizations do not spread like a wildfire. Maybe they learn something we have not yet understood. Perhaps the greatest wisdom is not in conquering the galaxy, but in living gently where you are. Instead of building colossal beacons, they might choose stillness. Instead of shouting across space, they might choose listening. They might turn inward, exploring inner worlds, consciousness, art, understanding, the depths of their own minds, instead of outer conquest. From far away, such a civilization would be almost invisible. No loud signals, no dramatic megastructures, just a small, quiet world, living in balance, under its own familiar sky. Perhaps our mistake is assuming that expansion is the only sign of intelligence. The alien that already exists in your life. There is a strange comfort in realizing that alien life is not only out there, it is already around you. Every cell in your body depends on bacteria in your gut that do not share your DNA. Trees depend on fungi in the soil. Coral reefs are built by tiny animals living with microscopic algae inside their tissues. Life on Earth is not a single species. It is a conversation, a network, a vast and ancient cooperation. When we imagine aliens, we often think of spacecraft and cities in the stars. But the first alien mind we truly meet may be microbial. A bacterium on Mars, a strange cell in the oceans of Europa, a chemical pattern in the atmosphere of a distant world. It may not speak, feel, or dream as we do, but it will still answer the question, are we alone? And once we know the answer is no, the universe will never feel the same again. The mirror in the question. The question, are we alone? It is not really about the universe. It is about us. When we ask if there are other minds, we are also asking, what does it mean to be a mind? What does it mean to exist? What is the value of a single life? In a cosmos so enormous? If we are alone, then every song, every story, every act of kindness, every discovery, every quiet moment like this one, it is unique in the history of the universe. There has never been anything like us. There may never be again. If we are not alone, then we are part of a greater pattern, one note in a cosmic chorus, one branch in a forest of minds. In both cases, your life has weight. Your choices matter. Whether you are a solitary voice or one harmony among many, you are still a rare phenomenon. A small part of the universe that can choose to care. A thought to drift on when you look at the night sky. You are seeing light that has traveled for millions, even billions of years. Some of the stars you see may already be gone. Some of the worlds around them may have bloomed with life, loved, feared, hoped, and vanished long before humans took their first breath. You are not just looking into space. You are looking into time. Somewhere out there, at this very moment, another mind may be looking up at its own sky, wondering the same thing you are right now. Is someone else out there? Asking this question too? You may never meet. You may never know. But the question itself, it is a kind of connection. Two points of light on opposite sides of the universe whispering the same quiet word. Why? Whether the universe is full of life or empty and silent, tonight, one thing is certain. You are here, breathing, listening, thinking about questions that stars themselves cannot ask. You are a brief awareness in a vast, deep darkness, and yet you are capable of kindness, of imagination, of love. And maybe that is the real answer to the question, are we alone? Even if we are, we still have each other. And if one day we find we are not, then everything we are learning now about empathy, about care, about wonder, will be the first gift we bring with us when we finally say hello to a mind that did not begin on Earth. Until then, the night is wide, the sky is silent, and your thoughts drift softly between the stars. You do not need to solve the mystery tonight. You only need to rest inside it. Let the unknown be gentle. Let the questions be a pillow, not a burden. Somewhere, deep inside the silence, the universe is listening back. And for now, that is enough. Tonight, instead of flying farther into space, we're going to do something stranger. We're going to turn inward, past your skin, past your heartbeat, past your breath, all the way into the quiet place where thoughts appear, memories rise and fade, and the story of you keeps unfolding even when no one else can see it. We can point telescopes at galaxies and particle colliders at the atomic level. But the one thing you experience more closely than anything else, your own mind, it is still one of science's greatest mysteries. So as you lie here, eyes growing heavier, let's drift into the question that quietly haunts everything. What exactly is this you that is listening right now? The most ordinary miracle consciousness feels so normal that we forget how strange it is. Right now, you're not just hearing words. You are aware that you're hearing them. You have an inner sense of me watching all of this unfold from the inside. You can notice your breath. You can notice your thoughts. You can even notice that you are noticing. This simple, everyday awareness, it is one of the most extraordinary phenomena in the universe. We can track brain waves on a monitor. We can see which regions light up when you see a face, hear a song, or remember a childhood moment. But none of that explains why there is a private inner movie playing behind your eyes. Why does a pattern of electrical activity feel like a memory, a fear, a hope, or a sense of peace? Physics can describe matter. Neuroscience can describe neurons. But the feeling of being you remains something deeper, something we still don't know how to write into equations. Matter that learned how to feel. Your brain is made of the same ingredients as the rest of the universe. Atoms, molecules, electrons, ions. There is nothing obviously magical in the list. And yet, arranged in this one particular way, this matter began to feel. It feels pain and warmth. It feels hunger and comfort. It feels curiosity, awe, loneliness, and love. Inside your skull there are about 86 billion neurons talking to each other through tiny electrical sparks and chemical messengers. Each neuron is blind. Each one only knows fire now, or stay quiet. But together, they somehow create a sunrise in your mind, the taste of your favorite food, the ache of missing someone, the soft calm of this very moment. How? We can say, consciousness emerges from complex networks. But emerge is a polite word for we don't really know. If you take a brain apart, cell by cell, you never find a single place where you are hiding. And yet, when everything works together, there you are. The worlds you visit when you sleep. Every night, when you drift into sleep, your mind becomes a universe maker. You might fly. You might talk to someone who is far away. You might stand in a city that doesn't exist under a sky that no one has ever seen. And even though your body lies still, your heart can race from a nightmare or relax in a dream where everything finally feels safe. Dreams are so vivid that your brain often cannot tell them from reality while they are happening. Scientists can measure when you are dreaming. They can see your eyes move under your eyelids. They can watch the brain areas linked to vision, emotion, and memory light up like distant cities at night. But why do you dream remains unsolved? Are dreams the brain's way of sorting memories, releasing emotion, rehearsing for danger? Or are they simply the random crackling of a sleeping brain stitched into stories afterward? No theory explains everything. What we do know is this. Inside your mind lies an entire landscape that you visit every night, half remembered in the morning, fading like mist. And that private inner universe is as mysterious as any galaxy we point a telescope at. Your entire life is stored somewhere inside this soft, quiet organ in your head. your first day of school, the smell of a kitchen from long ago, the face of someone you loved and lost, even the way this sentence reminds you of something else. Memory is not a single place in the brain. It is a pattern, spread out across many regions, like a melody shared between thousands of instruments. Scientists know that the hippocampus helps weave these patterns, turning moments into memories. They know memories are not static files, but living things. They can change each time you recall them. Sometimes, a smell can unlock a whole forgotten scene. Sometimes, a memory you are sure of turns out to be partly wrong. We don't yet fully understand why some memories last a lifetime while others disappear in days. But without memory, you would dissolve. You would still be awake, still able to feel, but there would be no story tying your past to your present. In that sense, memory is not just about the past. It is the bridge that lets you walk from yesterday into tomorrow as the same person. Emotions, the hidden currents beneath thought. We like to imagine ourselves as rational beings who sometimes feel emotions. But in truth, we are emotional beings who sometimes think clearly. Joy, fear, shame, pride, tenderness, grief. These are not just extra decorations on top of thought. They are the currents that shapes what you notice, what you remember, what you choose. When you are afraid, your sense of time stretches. Your body tightens. Your mind scans for danger. When you feel safe, your thoughts soften. Your attention widens. The world seems brighter, even if nothing outside has changed. We know parts of the brain that help create these feelings. The amygdala for fear, the insula for disgust, the prefrontal cortex for regulation. We know that hormones and neurotransmitters wash through the body when you fall in love, face a threat, or finally relax after a long day. But why a pattern of chemistry should feel like heartbreak or like hope, it is still a mystery. Emotions are not logical, but they are not meaningless either. They are the way life speaks when words are not enough. The hard question: why is there an inner world at all? You can look at a brain on a scan and see activity. You can cut into it and see tissue. You can measure signals, model networks, write algorithms that imitate behavior. But you will never see the color red the way someone else sees it just by analyzing their brain. You will never feel their pain by looking at their neurons. This gap between physical description and inner experience is sometimes called the hard problem of consciousness. Why isn't the brain just a cold machine processing information in the dark? Why is there a warm, private, felt world happening inside? Some thinkers say consciousness appears when information reaches a certain level of complexity. Others say it might be a fundamental property of the universe, like space or time, present in some tiny way everywhere, and brightest in minds like ours. We don't know which idea is right. What we do know is that your subjective experience, your inner life, is real. Cannot be weighed, but it shapes everything you do. Cannot be photographed, but it is the most intimate thing you have. A small mind in a vast universe. Sometimes when we talk about the cosmos, black holes, galaxies, the beginning and end of time, it's easy to feel small. Just one person on one planet, around one star in a sea of countless others. But here is a quiet reversal that science cannot ignore. As far as we know, the universe can only be experienced from the inside through minds like yours. Without awareness, galaxies are just silent patterns. With awareness, they become beautiful. Without a mind, starlight is just radiation. With a mind, it becomes meaningful. When you look up at the sky, a tiny part of the universe is looking back at itself. The atoms in your brain were forged in dead stars, but now they are doing something those stars could not do. They are wondering. They are asking, they are imagining, they are longing. In that sense, your mind is not separate from the universe. It is one of the ways the universe has learned to feel its own existence. You don't have to solve the mystery of consciousness tonight. You don't have to figure out how dreams work or why memories fade or what emotions really are. All you have to do is notice that you are here, a breathing being, tired after a long day, lying in the dark with a mind full of galaxies, questions, and quiet. As your eyes grow heavier, you can imagine your thoughts like stars slowly dimming, one by one. The loud ones fade first, the worries soften, the to-do lists lose their edges. What remains is just a gentle awareness of your body, your breath, and the bed beneath you. In a moment, you'll cross that invisible line from waking to dreaming, from thinking about the universe to becoming a universe of your own for the night. Worlds will rise and fall behind your closed eyes. Old faces may appear. New places may form. The brain will wander and you will drift with it. You don't need to control any of it. You don't need to understand any of it. You can simply let go. The greatest mystery tonight is not out there among the stars. It is the simple, quiet fact that there is a you here to feel tired, here to feel safe, here to fall asleep. Let that be enough. Let your breath slow. Let your mind soften. Let the universe inside your head dim its lights until only silence remains. And as you drift away, remember, you are not just in the universe. For a brief, precious time, the universe is also in you. Rest well, small universe. The questions will still be here in the morning. What if I told you that time is not what you think it is? Not a straight line. Not a river that runs in only one direction. Not a constant, reliable thing that ticks at the same speed for everyone. Time is elastic. Time is personal. Time is strange. And the more deeply we study it, the more it slips away from us like water through our fingers. Tonight, we're not only going to explore the science of time, but the feeling of time. Why it stretches during suffering. Why it vanishes during joy, why childhood lasts forever and adulthood lasts a moment, and why, somewhere deep within us, we always feel like we're running out of it. The world before time existed. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the universe before anything began, before galaxies, before light, before space had room to expand. There was no ticking. No before and after, no waiting, no aging, no history, because time itself did not yet exist. Time was born the moment the universe was born. At the Big Bang, space, energy, matter, and time itself burst into existence together. And like everything in the universe, time has been changing ever since. Time does not flow the same for everyone. Einstein changed everything when he discovered something shocking. Time is not absolute. It bends. It stretches. It depends on where you are and how fast you're moving. If you lived near a black hole, time would slow down dramatically. Minutes could pass for you while centuries pass for someone far away. If you traveled near the speed of light, you could leave Earth for 1 year and return to find that everyone you'd ever known was long gone. This is not science fiction. It is the reality of relativity. Time is not a universal truth. It is a local experience. And your experience of time, it is shaped by your life, your memories, your emotions. Psychological time versus physical time, there are two kinds of time. Hourglass not done physical time measured by clocks, equations, calendars, and orbital motion. Dizzy psychological time measured by memory, attention, fear, boredom, and longing. One is about seconds. The other is about meaning. A single day in a hospital can feel longer than a year spent falling in love. 5 minutes of waiting in terror can stretch like an eternity. Meanwhile, entire years of routine can vanish from memory without a trace. Time doesn't just pass. It changes shape depending on how deeply we live. As children, every day is new, so time feels vast. As adults, our days blend and time accelerates. To a child, one summer is an era. To an adult, 10 years can disappear in a blink. Time is not just what happens outside you. It is what happens inside you. Memory is the architecture of time. Without memory, there would be no past. You would live in an endless present, with no sense of growth, no sense of loss, no sense of identity. Memory does not just store time. It shapes it. We remember beginnings. We remember endings. We remember turning points. But long periods of repetition collapse into a single impression. That is why your first heartbreak feels eternal, but most of high school feels like a blur. Time is not measured by clocks. It is measured by moments that matter. Why time speeds up as we age. There is a theory, not proven but poetic. When you are 5 years old, 1 year is 20% of your life. Feels enormous. When you are 50, a year is only 2% of your life. Feels like a breath. But there is a deeper truth. We stop noticing life when everything becomes familiar. New experiences stretch time. Repetition erases it. Which means, sparkles, if you want life to feel longer, you don't need more years. You need more presence. More novelty. More wonder. More waking up inside your own life. Time is also made of space. Here is a secret. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. This is the heart of relativity. Space and time are not separate things. They are woven together into a single fabric. By moving through space, you bend time itself. This means there is no single now in the universe. The present moment for you is not the same present moment for someone living on a distant star. Every observer has their own timeline, their own rhythm, their own now. Reality is not one river of time, but billions of individual streams constantly unfolding. The arrow of time. Why you remember the past but not the future. Nothing in physics strictly forbids time from flowing backwards. Equations work both ways. Yet in life, the past is fixed and the future is open. Why? Because time has a direction thanks to entropy. Entropy is the tendency of the universe to move from order to disorder. Eggs break, but don't unbreak. Smoke disperses, but doesn't reassemble. Your childhood memories remain in your mind, but you cannot scroll forward to see your old age. Time points forward because the universe favors chaos over order. We move through time because we are surfing on the increasing disorder of the cosmos. And our lives are defined by the fact that everything eventually falls apart. But there is beauty in that decay, because the fragility of things is what makes them meaningful. The fear of running out. No matter how much science we learn, there is a feeling time cannot erase. The fear of not having enough. Not enough time to become who we wish to be. Not enough time with the people we love. Not enough time to understand ourselves. Even the oldest stars in the universe burn with the same fate. Eventually they will dim. Eventually they will cool. Eventually they will end. But perhaps the sadness we feel around time is not a flaw, but a compass. It forces us to choose, to pay attention, to love what will not last. What is scarce becomes sacred. Maybe time isn't something we pass through. Maybe time is something we create. Every moment you notice, every breath you feel, every connection you nurture adds meaning to the seconds that would otherwise be empty. Time without awareness is just physics. Time with awareness is a life. You cannot stop time. You cannot rewind time. You cannot escape time. But you can inhabit it. And that may be the closest thing to immortality we ever get. When you were a child, time was wide. Now it feels narrow. One day it will be silent. But the goal was never to outrun time. It was to be alive inside it. Time is not the enemy. It is the canvas. And you are the painter. One breath at a time. One memory at a time. One moment at a time. And when your time eventually ends, as an all-time must, your moments will remain woven into the fabric of every life you touched. Because time leaves no survivors, but it leaves stories. And stories, like starlight, can travel forever. Tonight, we will go to a place where the laws of physics break open like glass. A place where time slows, light bends, and meaning itself dissolves into silence. A place that is not just dangerous but sacred. A black hole. Not the Hollywood version. Not the swirling CGI vortex of doom. But the real thing. A star that collapsed into itself until all that remained was gravity without a face, curvature without a surface, a boundary called the event horizon, where everything you know about reality stops being true. Not later, not gradually, instantly, what a black hole really is. Let's begin with the truth. A black hole is not a thing. It is not a dense object hidden in the dark. It is a space that has been pulled so tightly that it no longer behaves like space. Imagine crushing the sun until it fits inside a sphere the size of a small city. That is a black hole. Not because matter has become violent, but because space has become curved beyond recognition. The black hole is not a hole in space. It is a hole in the map of reality. Time near a black hole does not work the way you think. The deeper you fall into a black hole, the slower time flows for you. Minutes for you, it could be millions of years for someone watching from afar. If you hovered near the event horizon, you could watch the entire future of the universe unfold in front of you like a time lapse. Civilizations would rise and fall. Stars would ignite and die. Galaxies would collide and turn to dust. You would see the universe grow old in the time it takes your heart to beat. In a very real sense, black holes are time machines, but only in one direction. They show you the future, but once you fall in, there is no going back. The event horizon. The point of no return, the event horizon, is not a physical wall. There is no membrane or barrier. If you crossed it, nothing would feel different. No jolt, no flash, no warning. You would simply step into a region where escape is no longer possible. Not because you are too slow, but because space-time itself is falling faster than light. Inside the horizon, the direction of forward is the direction of the singularity. Falling inward is no longer a choice. It is geometry. From the outside, you would never truly fall. Here is the strangest part. If someone were watching you fall into a black hole, they would never see you cross the event horizon. You would slow down, dim, stretch, fade. Your heartbeat would seem to freeze. Your last breath would hang in place. Your image would smear into a ghost of red light, and then vanish. To them, you do not fall in. You freeze at the edge of forever. To you, time flows normally. To them, your time stops. This is not a trick of perception. It is the nature of time itself. A black hole does not just swallow matter. It swallows moments. What happens beyond the horizon? No one knows for certain. Einstein's equations say space-time collapses to a single point of infinite density, the singularity. But quantum physics says infinities are nonsense. Nature must do something else. Some theories say black holes destroy information. Some say information is stored on the horizon like ink on a page. Some say a black hole might tunnel into another universe. Some say every black hole is the seed of a new Big Bang. It's possible that every universe begins as the inside of a black hole born in another universe, meaning we may already be living inside one. And every black hole we see in the night sky might be another universe beginning in silence. Spaghettification, the most terrifying poetry of physics. If you fell into a stellar mass black hole, the gravitational difference between your head and your feet would stretch you into a long, thin thread of atoms. Scientists call this spaghettification. Sounds silly. It is not. You would be pulled apart at the molecular level and scattered into the horizon like mist. But if you fell into a supermassive black hole, you could cross the event horizon without dying instantly. There would be no tearing, no pain, no immediate destruction. You would drift inward like a leaf in slow motion. You would see the universe shrink behind you as the singularity grew ahead of you like a silent, infinite sunrise. And in your final instant, you would see every direction collapse into one. Not darkness, just the end of direction itself. Black holes do not last forever. They evaporate, slowly, quietly, through something called Hawking radiation. Most black holes take longer than the age of the universe to disappear. But eventually, they glow, they shrink, they evaporate, and they vanish. Not even black holes are eternal. Every shadow in the universe is temporary. What black holes teach us about reality, they are not just exotic cosmic monsters. They are philosophical weapons. They force us to ask, where does time come from? What is space? What is information? What is a moment? What does it mean to exist in a universe where something can be real 1 second and mathematically undefined the next? Black holes are the most extreme mirror ever built by nature. Look into them and you do not just see physics. You see yourself, your boundaries, your illusions, your fear of endings, your belief in separation. Black holes are not just destructive. They are truths revealed all at once. Everything you hold on to, your identity, your memories, your certainty, is like matter outside the horizon. One day, it will cross the boundary. One day, the story you are telling yourself will dissolve into something larger and nameless. And yet, nothing truly disappears. Matter becomes energy. Energy becomes curvature. Information becomes a pattern. You become part of the universe that once held you. You are not falling into nothing. You are falling into everything. Close your eyes. Imagine a black hole not as death, but as silence. Not as hunger, but as a transformation. A place where the story of the universe, it is rewritten from the inside. Where time ends but meaning doesn't. Where everything you were becomes something the universe will remember even without language. Because what black holes truly teach us is this: you do not need to be permanent to matter. You do not need to last forever to be real. You only need to exist in a moment of wonder. And that moment right now is enough. Every story has an ending. Even this one. The galaxies spinning in the dark. They will slow down someday. The stars burning like lanterns, they will go out. The atoms in your hands, they will fall apart. And even the universe itself, the stage where all of this happens, will one day grow silent. Tonight, we will go somewhere few people dare to look, to the end of everything. Not to frighten ourselves, but to understand our place in the story. And to understand why the ending it is the most beautiful part. Right now, the night sky is alive. New stars are born every second. Gas collapses, ignites, and becomes fire. Black holes drift through galaxies like silent whales. Planets spin quietly around their suns. But this will not last. There is only a limited amount of hydrogen in the universe. And when the last clouds of hydrogen run dry, no more stars will form. The newborn stars will stop crying. The nursery will close. All that remains will be the old ones. Red dwarfs burn slowly, fading quietly over trillions of years. One by one, they will dim, cool, and turn to ash. And then, the universe will lose its light. When the last star flickers out, the universe will enter a new age. An age with no sunrise, no light, no warmth, only black holes, cold planets, and dead suns drifting through endless night. Galaxies will become graveyards. Space will be silent. Not calm silence, but absolute silence. The silence of nothing left to burn. If a traveler from our time could see it, they would not recognize anything. The universe will not look dead. It will look like it has never lived. After the last stars die, something else will rule the universe, black holes. Not shining stars, not glowing nebulae, just gravity, eating slowly in the dark. Black holes will consume the remains of galaxies and then wait for trillions upon trillions of years until they begin to evaporate. Yes, even black holes die. Through Hawking radiation, they leak away bit by bit. Some will take longer than the current age of the universe just to lose a fraction of their mass. But eventually, every shadow will fade. Every black hole will vanish like mist at dawn. And with their disappearance, the universe will lose its last structure. After the last black hole evaporates, there will be nothing left that resembles anything. No stars, no planets, no light, no atoms, only the tiniest particles, drifting alone in darkness, too far from one another to ever meet again. Imagine a cemetery so large that every tombstone is separated by billions of light years. That is the far future of the universe. Nothing touches, nothing interacts, nothing happens. Time still exists, but there is no story left to tell. Physicists call this the heat death of the universe. Not because it gets hot, but because everything has spread out so evenly that no energy can flow anywhere. And without energy flowing, nothing can change. Motion ends. Temperature evens out. The universe approaches perfect stillness. Not a single spark of consciousness remains. Not a single star burns. Not a single atom holds together. This is the final winter of existence. The last page of the book. The universe has forgotten itself. If everything ends, what is the meaning of anything? Why love? Why build? Why dream? Why tell stories that will one day be erased? The answer is simple. Meaning does not come from permanence. It comes from experience. A flower that blooms for one night is not less beautiful than a mountain that stands for ages. A heartbeat that lasts 80 years is not less real than a star that burns for billions. Value is not measured in duration. Value is measured in presence. Even after you are gone, even after your atoms scatter, even after your name is forgotten, something remains. Every action you make changes the world in ways you will never see. Every kindness ripples forward through relationships and choices. Every idea bends the path of thoughts in others. Every breath you take was shaped by stars that died billions of years ago, and you continue that chain. We do not disappear. We transform. Your body becomes earth. Your energy becomes motion. Your story becomes memory. Your memory becomes influence. Not eternal in form, but eternal in effect. Like starlight that reaches the earth long after the star itself is gone. If the universe could speak, I don't think it would say, "I am ending." I think it would whisper, "Thank you for being part of my beginning," because for a brief moment, a cosmic blink, there were suns and oceans, hands and voices, books and children, love and art. There was laughter. There were fears. There was someone like you who looked up at the sky and wondered what it all means. The universe was not empty. It knew itself through you. Everything ends. But endings are not failures. They are the shape that stories make when they are complete. One day the last star will fade. One day the cosmos will fall silent. One day the universe will know only darkness. But tonight, right now, there is breath in your lungs, memory in your mind, warmth in your body, and wonder in your eyes. You are alive while the universe is still singing. And that is enough. Not forever, not infinite, but real. And real is more powerful than eternal. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the universe not as a single storyline, but as a breath. A slow cosmic inhale, a long quiet exhale, expansion, contraction, birth, collapse, light, darkness, and then light again. For more than a century, we have believed in a single beginning, a moment called the Big Bang, a point where space, time, and energy burst into being, like a match igniting in the dark. But what if that moment was not the beginning at all? What if it was simply one beat in an eternal pulse, a universe that dies and then wakes again? This idea is called the Big Bounce, not a single creation, but a cycle, an ever-breathing cosmos that expands until it can stretch no more, then folds inward on itself, collapsing, shrinking, contracting, until everything returns to a single seed of reality. And from that seed, another universe is born. Not a sequel, not a copy, but a new variation of existence with new laws, new stars, new patterns of matter, and maybe new minds wondering about their origins just as we do now. Some versions of the theory go even further. They propose that every bounce creates an entirely new physics, as if the universe is trying out different versions of itself. One universe where gravity is stronger, another where time flows differently, another where life is impossible, and maybe one where beings like us exist, looking at the stars and wondering what came before. Even modern mathematical models are beginning to whisper hints. When we study quantum gravity and the behavior of space-time near singularities, the equations don't always predict a true end. Instead, they curve, bend, and suggest a continuation. A door, not a wall. Some cosmologists call this the loop quantum bounce. Space itself woven like a network of quantum threads, never crushed to a true zero, always rebounding into something new. And if that is true, then every galaxy that ever lived, every memory, every childhood, every dream, every atom of your body once existed inside a universe that came before ours. A world gone silent, but not gone forever. Maybe it ended in fire. Maybe it ended in cold. Maybe it ended in a way we cannot yet imagine. But whatever came before left behind the blueprint for this one, like a cosmic footprint embedded in the fabric of space. Even the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light we have ever seen, may contain subtle signs of previous cycles, echoes of ancient universes that breathed before ours. Imagine that for a moment. Galaxies now long dead, memories erased by time, yet still sending us faint whispers embedded in radiation older than any star. Some scientists think these patterns may already be hiding in the data. Others believe we will need new instruments, telescopes beyond our imagination, to truly see them. But whether or not the evidence is found, the idea remains. There was something before us, and there will be something after. Not in a way that makes us small, but in a way that makes everything feel deeply connected, like chapters in a book so vast that no single species could ever read it entirely. And here's something even more extraordinary. In cyclic models, physics suggests that entropy resets. All the disorder built up over trillions of years is wiped clean during the collapse. A new universe emerges like a blank slate, full of possibility again. It is as if the universe itself refuses to accept finality. It refuses to stop dreaming. And so, if this idea is true, we live in one verse of a cosmic symphony that has been playing for ages without beginning or end. One day, our universe too will fade. Stars will go dark. Galaxies will dissolve. Even atoms may collapse into radiation. But perhaps, long, long after that silent darkness, a new universe will inhale again. New stars will ignite. New minds will awaken. And somewhere, someone else will look up at the sky and ask the same questions we ask now. What came before us? What will come after? And why does anything exist at all? Maybe that is the point. That the universe is not only made of matter and energy, but of questions. Questions that never end. Curiosity passed from cycle to cycle like a flame carried across the ages. If you are hearing this right now, you are part of that flame. The universe may collapse one day, but curiosity may be the one thing that never dies. Milky Way, breathe in. The cosmos expands. Breathe out. The cosmos returns home. Perhaps eternity is not endless time. Perhaps eternity is rhythm. A heartbeat, a pulse, a universe that dies, only to live again. And somewhere in that endless breath, we are the moment of awareness when the universe stops, looks at itself and wonders. There is something strange about existence. The universe is enormous, trillions of galaxies, billions of years, particles older than stars, laws of physics that do not care about you at all. And yet somehow you are here, aware, thinking, wondering, a brief moment of consciousness in an ocean of silence. Tonight, we will not talk about galaxies or black holes, not about entropy or the death of time, not even about what comes after the end. Tonight, we talk about you, not because you are the center of the universe, but because you are the first thing in the universe that has ever looked back at all of this and whispered, "I exist." And that changes everything. Evolution never promised meaning. Physics never promised purpose. Atoms never planned to become aware of themselves. And yet, here you are, a collection of particles imagining love, beauty, art, memory, regret, wonder. Things that do not exist in physics equations, but somehow define you more than your molecules ever could. You are not simply made of stardust. You are stardust that woke up. The universe expanded for 13.8 billion years without ever forming a single thought. Just matter, moving, colliding, exploding, cooling, and then on one small world, something new appeared. Neurons, minds, questions. When the universe gave birth to consciousness, it learned how to feel, how to observe, how to wonder, how to see itself. When you look at the night sky, you may feel small, but that feeling comes from misunderstanding scale. You are not separate from the universe. You are what the universe is doing at this place and time. The cosmos is not far away. It is inside you. Every atom in your body was forged in an ancient star. Every breath echoes the chemistry of the first oceans. Every thought is powered by quantum events older than Earth. You are a product of the universe, but also its witness. like an eye made of light so that light could finally see itself. Maybe one day life will disappear. Maybe consciousness will fade. Maybe even the stars will forget us. But meaning does not require eternity. Meaning requires awareness. A single moment of love is not less real because it ends. A fleeting thought is not meaningless because it fades. A human life is not worthless because it is temporary. You matter not because the universe will remember you forever, but because right now, you are the part of the universe that remembers anything at all. You are the witness, the storyteller, the brief moment of clarity in a sea of infinite possibility. That is not small. That is sacred. If the universe could speak, I believe it would say, I needed you to exist, not to save me, not to control me, but to notice me, because the universe does not know it is beautiful until someone looks at it and feels something. The sky is not poetic until a mind turns it into poetry. Stars are not mysterious until a question is asked. Existence is not meaningful until someone seeks meaning. That someone is you. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the warmth of being alive. You are not here by accident. You are here because the laws of physics allowed you, the chemistry of life built you, and the story of the universe shaped you. Your awareness completes the circle. The universe saw itself through you, and because of that, nothing is truly lost. Not even when everything ends, not even when the stars fade, not even when time dissolves. Meaning was never in the stars. It was always in the ones who looked at them. And as long as one mind wonders, one heart feels, one voice whispers a question into the dark, the universe is not silent. It is listening. It is aware. And it is alive because you are alive. Thank you for traveling this far with me. In a universe where stars burn and fade, where everything we know is temporary, your presence here, in this moment, means more than you think. Whether you are listening to fall asleep, to learn, or simply to feel a little less alone under the night sky, I'm grateful you're here. If tonight's journey brought you peace, or sparked even one quiet moment of wonder, take a deep breath and let it stay with you. And when the stars return, so will we, because this story isn't finished. There are still mysteries waiting, still questions echoing in the dark. Still, there are chapters the universe hasn't told us yet. So sleep well, dream gently, and come back for the next episode. Until then, good night, traveler of starlight. And remember, you are the way the universe learns to see itself. Good night.